It's Famous Fives in half an hour on Glory Bulb. Then Chris Tarrant asks the questions worth more and more money here on Challenge. And later, the all-important National Lottery Daily Play live draw.
Dynamic comedy duo Little and Large. And from What's Up Doc, DJ Fat Shark. Actor Leslie Grantham. Olympic gold medalist Tessa Sanderson. From Prisoner Cell Block H, Valerie Lehman. Magician Supremo Jeffrey Durham. From Red Dwarf comedian Hattie Hayrich. From This Morning, it's Anna Soubry. And Paul Daniels credits asset Debbie McGee. They're all here to play New Celebrity Squares. And here's the star master of the Big Box game, Bob Monkhouse.
Thank you very much. Don't. I don't deserve your applause, ladies and gentlemen. I'm ashamed of myself. I went to a restaurant late last night in Nottingham, and I saw two teenagers stealing a car, and I did nothing to stop them, ladies and gentlemen. I was thrilled to get the parking space, to tell you the truth. Look who parked themselves in our Canary Wharf of comedy. Hello, celebrities. Hello! Yes, I hear you. Yes, 9 famous folk, each with a constant nationwide appeal, and yet not one of them can get a second mortgage. We have a game to play. Naturally, we have players in order to play the game, and I'd like those players to introduce themselves to you and to our stars. Debbie, tell the celebrities who you are.
Hi, celebrities. I'm Debbie Hamilton. I live in Ardrossan in Ayrshire in Scotland. I sing in a band, and I'm married to Stuart, who's in the Royal Navy.
He's in the Royal Navy. Does he get much shore leave?
Well, he's just went away 2 weeks ago for 2.5 years.
No sooner home than he has to weigh anchor. I know about weighing anchor. I worked on the butter counter at Sainsbury's. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, would you make Debbie feel at home? Debbie won the toss backstage. The ladies always seem to win week after week, and so she's playing the naught. Playing the cross is this gentleman here. Ian, please tell our stars who you are.
Hi, celebs. I'm Ian Lees from Warrington. My job is a sound engineer, and I present classic rock radio for Greenhall's Inns, which is a brewery.
Have you got a nickname?
Zippy. Call me Zippy.
Just because you're so fast?
Well, children's entertainer. Do you want to sing a bit?
You've got something there.
Oh, yes. Let's get his glasses off.
You've got a prop on.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Celebrity Squares. And we can see Bob's got a full house.
Ah, very good. That's great. Ian? Very good. A disc jockey named Zippy, as distinct from Ed Stewart, who's a disc jockey called Bungle. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking in, Ed, I'm only kidding. If you're not watching, fach. Ladies and gentlemen, object of the players is to get 3 squares in a row up and down like this. Or across like that. Or diagonally from corner to corner. Or simply any 5 squares. All our questions have been cunningly constructed to test the abilities of our celebrities and our players. It's up to the players to decide whether one of our celebrities is giving a correct answer or just making one up. That's how they win the squares, and the squares are worth £10 each in the first round, with a bonus of £50 for a completed game. OK, that toss was won backstage, as I say, by a lady who's going to go first and try and amass the most amount of money. It's the person with the most money who may get to pick from the Monkhouse Motor Show.
A fuel-injected Mini, a 4x4 Sports, a Cabriolet, a 1600cc saloon, and this 2-litre coupe.
You're quite right. There's no Rolls-Royce there. But then I don't think Rolls-Royces are that good, or you'd see more people driving them. Pick a star.
Well, I've got to do it. Valerie Lehman.
Val Lehman, welcome to Celebrity Squares from Australia.
Not recently.
Ah, it isn't fair. You finally make the break from prisoner cell block H and we stick you in another cell.
No.
Ah, according to a newspaper report, Val, in which country have they recently established a trade union for monkeys? But I'll give you a choice, Belgium or Holland?
Otherwise known as Actors' Equity. Or the Police Wardens Association.
Oh, really?
Belgium or Holland, say?
Yeah.
Well, I think that the Dutch have actually legalised just about everything, but we're now organising them to unions, so I'd say Holland.
Holland, says Val.
I'll take a chance and say I agree.
Animal lovers formed the trade union to negotiate with the monkeys' employers, and it was in Holland. Nort gets the square, and you win £10. Your first £10 of the game. Where are you going to put your first play?
I'll go for Lot on an Hardy in middle.
2 for price of 1.5. Welcome to the show, Little and Large, Sid and Eddie.
I'm so glad that Zippy picked us on.
Julie Andrews once appeared topless in a film. Was it The Torn Curtain?
It wasn't The Odd Couple, was it? No. Actually, you know this one.
Yes,
you know this one. Go on.
It was called S.O.B.
Sid or Bob? It was. I think you're right.
S.O.B.
Bob, I'd say you're right.
Yes, you're right. In goes your cross, gets the square, and you win £10 your first of the game like this. And Debbie.
Leslie Grantham.
Leslie Grantham. Welcome, Leslie, from your many successes. You've come a long way from the East End to the West End.
True. And back.
Yeah. Now you're stuck up there in the North End. Yeah. Sitting on your South End. First aid, Leslie. If a person is badly injured, is it okay to give them water?
No. And it's not a good idea to give them any money either.
Okay. Tough man, this. He says no water.
I don't agree.
You don't agree? You should never give them anything by mouth except artificial respiration. Leslie's right, you're wrong. Cross gets the square, no money is won. I can imagine where you're going next.
I'll go for Postman Pat down at the
Yeah, Pat Sharp. What's up, Doc? Hi, great to see you from your wonderful show.
Thank you very much. Nice to see another fellow DJ there.
And I'd like to offer Pat Sharp the deepest condolences on the death of his hairdresser.
Well, it was in 1978.
Was you really? You've just gone for a second estimate. Okay, who won the 1959 Nobel Prize for Literature, Pat? Dracula, Frankenstein, or Quasimodo?
Let's have a think. There's more dates. Even before my hairdresser died. I'm going to go for Bob Dracula, I think. Definitely, yes, without a doubt. Because the old book, Fangs for the Memory.
1959 Nobel Prize went to Dracula.
I disagree, Bob.
It went to the Italian poet Salvatore Quasimodo. You're right to disagree. Cross gets the square. You get £10 for the square, £50 bonus for the day. Bringing you to £70. One of our stars is sitting in the secret square for the next round of the game. Here is the star for you alone at home. Or maybe you're not alone. Nevertheless, you can see the star. And now we're going to tell you about the prize for the person who lands on that square and answers correctly.
For the Culture Vulture, it's a weekend break for two in Rome.
Oh, lovely. Here it is, in Italy. Well, first chance to pick that star sitting in the secret square. It's an 8-to-1 chance. Debbie, try it.
I'll go for Little and Large.
Little and Large, going to the centre again. Sid and Eddie, what does an elephant do when it's happy?
Anything it likes, I should imagine. What does an elephant do when it's happy? I know what it does when it's unhappy. I like to clean it up with a shovel. Laughs. Laughs. What do elephants do when they laugh? Give us an elephant laugh. So it trumps.
No,
trumpets. Trumpets. Sorry.
From the other end.
Yeah. Trumpets.
It trumpets. It trumpets, they said, Eddie.
Don't agree.
You don't agree? It squeaks, it purrs softly, sometimes waggles its ears. It does not trumpet when it's happy, and you win that square. Naught gets the square, and £10 is won by you. Where's that secret square?
Dirty Den.
As a matter of fact, I don't think... Your dressing room is clean, isn't it, Leslie?
It certainly is.
You wouldn't want to see another dirty den. Ballet dancing, Leslie. If you leapt into the air and quickly crossed your legs several times, would you be doing an entrechat or a plié?
No, I don't think I'll be doing either. I'll probably end up rupturing myself. No, I don't... neither, I think, neither.
You're saying it's neither an entrechat nor a plié?
I say it's one of them. Number one.
Therefore, you're disagreeing with Leslie? That's all you have to do?
I'm sorry about that, disagree.
Well, it happens to be an entrechat. You're right to disagree. Cross gets the square. £10 is won. Where's that secret square? Ready?
Val Lehman.
Val, true or false? You can tell whether a horse is male or female just by counting its teeth.
Well, that might be where you look in England. It's not where we look down under. We have some quaint things in this country, I don't know. But it's the last place where I would look in his mouth. I'd say no.
I agree.
It is false. You're right to agree. Naught gets the square. Another £10 is won just like this. I can see a line forming. Where are you going to go?
I've got to go for the lovely Tessa.
World champion with the javelin, Tessa Sanderson. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you.
I feel sorry for your ex-boyfriends, Tessa.
Oh,
Yeah, if she doesn't like a bloke, she chucks him, you know.
oh.
Which of these used to be the manager of the England soccer team, Tessa? Ivor Winterbottom or Walter Winterbottom?
Oh, Bob, let me see. Well, Ivor sounds like manager of the Alaskan team. Could be his brother. Let me see. Let's go for Walter.
Walter.
I agree.
Yes, you're right to agree. Cross gets the square, 10 pounds of one. We're next for North.
Debbie McGee.
There we are. Debbie, may I say, welcome, Mrs. Paul Daniels. It's delightful to see you. I'd like to say how much I admire your other half.
Thank you very much.
But we can't see it. There's a desk in the way. Debbie McGee. True or false, Deb? According to legend, Confucius died when a short-sighted eagle dropped a tortoise on his bald head.
Could that be how they got the hare and the tortoise? No. True.
Debbie says he did get shell-shocked.
No, I don't agree.
It did happen to the Greek poet Aeschylus, but not Confucius, so you're right to disagree. You're not going to be Andy in 10 pounds on that square.
Anthony, you've got?
Anna Silbury de Block. Anna, we all know you from this morning. I wish I knew you from last night. Anna Silbury.
Any died.
How long does it take an experienced Eskimo to build an igloo? 2 hours? 4 hours?
Well, an inexperienced builder, he'd probably put in central heating, which would really slow things down and be ridiculous. I haven't got a clue. 2 hours or 4 hours?
Yeah. To build an igloo.
This is a guess.
Yep.
4 hours.
Disagree, Bob.
You disagree? It takes up to 2 hours. You're right to disagree. And your cross goes in there, and you win 10 pounds on Anna Silbury Square. You're going to try and block? Jeffrey Durham. Jeffrey. Jeffrey, welcome indeed to the show with all your magic tricks. Thank you very much. You'll be quite comfortable because magicians are used to climbing in a box, aren't they?
Not me.
What do you
send
call
people in?
What do you
people
call
like
that?
Debbie.
That apparatus you use when you disappear inside a box? Is it a vanishing cabinet, isn't it?
Vanishing, yes.
Yeah. I'm sure John Major wishes he had one. Words. If you were practicing epiolatry, would you be worshipping yourself? Is it
Self-worship is something I know a lot about because I look at myself in the mirror every day and I count my chins. More chins than the Chinese telephone directory. Anyway, I've got a sneaky feeling that it doesn't mean that. I think it means something about love of words or something like that, I think.
Jeffrey says you wouldn't be worshipping yourself if you were practicing epiolatry.
I agree.
Yes, autolatry is worshipping yourself. Worship of words, you're absolutely right. Well done. North gets the square. Oh, your money's up to £50 now, girl. 50.
It's got to be Hattie, Bob.
It's got to be Hattie Hayrid. Hey, Hattie! We found it. And it's worth a weekend in Italy if, big if, Ian responds correctly to your answer to this question that's coming up. Oh, well, Hattie, so good to see you here.
Thank you.
Still trying to expand your mind, still learning all the time?
Yeah, I do. I like doing things like that. I've started doing these French evening classes, which is a long way to go, but, you know, it seemed worth it at the time.
I walk right into these things with you. Patty, a famous explorer, once looked around and said, "Great God, this is an awful place." Was he in the Antarctic or the Sahara?
I reckon he was in Spaghetti Junction, really. But, do I get to go with Zippy to Rome or not? No, yeah, oh, good, right. I'll do my best then. I reckon it was probably freezing and so he was in a bit of a bad mood. I'd say the Antarctic.
What do you say, Ian?
I'd agree.
Antarctica. Captain Scott said it at the South Pole. You are going to say it in Italy. Congratulations. Cross gets the square. There is your holiday in Italy. I'll put it right there. Congratulations, Ian. We'll give you everything you need. Cornetto. Yeah, give you a cornetto. Yes, we'll give you an Italian Express card. Vatican Express. There you are. Don't leave Rome without it. There's only one place you can go.
Well, it's got to be the delightful patch-up.
Yes, and this would win the game for you for a £50 bonus if you respond correctly to Pat's answer. The elephant's closest living relative. Pat, is it the same size as a rabbit or the same size as a hamster?
The way you worded that, I thought it was me, the elephant's closest living relative, Pat. Let me think. Oh, I know this. Yeah, I reckon lives in my house. An uncle of mine, I think, who's hanging up in the attic. Norman. Very similar to a hamster. Do you have a hamster?
Same size as a hamster.
I agree.
It's for the game. It's the Hyrax. It's the same size as a rabbit. You're wrong. This is game point. We cannot put your cross in there. If you want to win Pat Sharp Square, you must put it there yourself. Yes?
Yes, Bob.
Here we go, Pat. The oldest letter in the English alphabet. Is it the letter A or the letter O?
Oh, it's A.
I agree.
Oh, it's remained unchanged since around 1300 BC. Look what happens if we cannot win your game with it by default. You have to put it in Pat Sharp Square yourself. Yes, here we go again, Pat. This is for the game again. In 1988, a bookseller from Cirencester or Cirencester paid over £5,000 for a lock of hair. Did it belong to Marilyn Monroe or Lord Nelson? 1988.
I think the blondes had more fun. I'll go for Marilyn, Bob.
Pat says it was Marilyn's hair.
I'd have to agree.
It was Lord Nelson's hair. Pat, this is for the cross to win the game. Which canal is longer, the Panama or the Suez?
Could be a bit of a Suez if I say the Panama, so I'll say the Suez.
I've got to agree with him, Bob.
Almost twice as long as the Panama. The Suez is right. You will go £10 and you get $55. And that's a one game. Look at this. 50 is playing 170. But Debbie could catch up. How should she catch up? Because we're going to double the dosh. Double money when we come back after the break to show you who's going to win one of those cars. Who knows? You'll find out on new Celebrity Squares. To the show that's full of stars and cars, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, £50. It's not very much, but you can catch up. We're going to double the dosh in just a moment. Every square will be worth £20, and a completed game will be worth £100. So you will be able to catch up, conceivably, with Ian here. Tell me, you're married to, as you told me, to a lad who goes to sea. What do you like to do for fun?
Well, I sing in the band. I enjoy doing that, and I
That's so much fun, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's terrific.
It really is.
What's your ambition?
Great fun. To be famous, I suppose. No,
yeah.
I don't know. Just
Make an
to
album?
go in my life. Oh, it's one as good as yours, Bob.
Oh, you've heard my album?
Oh, what?
Thank you very much. Shoplifters are bringing it back. Paying £170 for Ian Lees. Ian, how did you meet your wife? What's it? Diane, isn't it?
Yeah, I met Diane DJing in a nightclub. Yeah,
she was dancing?
Yeah.
Was she dancing?
No, she was pulling pints behind the bar.
She was pulling pints?
Yeah.
She was pulling pints. You were pulling her. Very nice indeed. We play on now, as I say, for double money. Double money means, of course, as I pointed out, Debbie could catch up with Ian. It's up to you to start, Debbie. It's your choice. Pick a star.
Sid and Eddie.
And, Sid and Eddie, true or false, the ancient Chinese played a game that vaguely resembles football.
My team, Man City, have been doing that all last season. Chinese are good at that, though, aren't they?
They are, yes.
They're good at vaguely doing things.
Take away.
What should we say?
Yes.
Yes, true.
Debbie?
Don't agree.
It's true.
Oh.
Cross gets the square, no money is won.
Pat.
Pat Sharp. The UK record charts. Was Cliff Richard the first British singer to have 2 consecutive #1 hits? Was he the first?
British, right.
First British singer to have 2 consecutive #1 hits. Was it Cliff?
Well, I know old Rolf Harris had 2 little boys. So I'm going to go for Cliff. Yeah, I think. Yeah, why not?
I've got to disagree, Bob.
It was Jimmy Young. You're right to disagree. Cross wins the square. £20 goes on your score. Just like this, bring you to 190. Debbie?
Well, Leslie?
You've got to go to Leslie Grantham. Leslie, the theme music for a popular TV programme is called Approaching Menace. Is it the Krypton Factor?
No, I don't think so. I think it sounds more like Beatles About.
Yes.
No, I don't think it is the Krypton Factor.
Does no?
I agree with Leslie.
It's Mastermind. You're right to agree with Leslie, and you win £20. Circle gets the score, and your score goes up to 70. Circle gets the square there. Ready to go. That tells me you only have 60 seconds to play.
Go on.
Anne?
Yes?
Anna Soubry. Which pop album has topped the charts in more countries? Madonna's True Blue or Michael Jackson's Thriller?
Madonna. Michael Jackson.
True Blue. And that is Madonna. You're wrong. Circle gets the square. No money is won.
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, in which country is the world's largest cemetery? Australia or Canada?
Oh, I don't know, Canada.
I agree.
No, Australia. Cross gets the square.
Hattie.
Hattie. In 1981, Bill Neal crossed the English Channel in a time of over 13 hours. What was he travelling in? A bathtub or a specially converted toilet?
Bathtub.
I agree.
You've just won this game for a £100 bonus. Bring your score to a very spectacular 310. Oh, me, oh, my. I say to you, Debbie, it's a delight to welcome you here from our Drossie, and you go back there with £70 to spend on the next time your dear man comes home on leave from the Navy. Thank you for being with us, and carry on singing and making people happy.
Thank you.
And you, sir, £310, congratulations. That is yours tax-free, of course. But it also wins you the right to try and name 9 of a kind, and if you can, you'll push your luck for one of those marvellous mean machines.
Sporty 1.3 fuel injection Mini in British Racing Green. A superb satin black 1.3 4x4 Sports. A stylish Cabriolet in Pacific Blue. An elegant 1600cc saloon in Ocean Blue. And this sleek 2-litre Flame Red Coupe.
You know, our studio audience and everyone at home is rooting for you, but I know all our celebrities are, because after all, you're a fellow pro. A disc jockey from Warrington. Yeah. Ian, what we want you to do is look up at that frame. You'll see that every star has a car. There's a coupe, there's a cabriolet, there's a Mini, a saloon, and there's a 4x4 Sports. Which is the one that most takes your fancy?
The 4x4.
That's the one you'd like to win. OK, to win the car, you must name 9 of a kind. I have a single question here. I want you to give me 9 answers. We conducted a secret poll of our studio audience, not this audience, another one, and I have to put on my bins for this because we got a lot of answers. In fact, 27 answers we got from our audience. I want you to give me 9, but they must be 9 that are on the card. In other words, those most popular answers that we got in our survey. The popular answers. OK. As you give me each answer, please wait a small beat so that I can say yes and confirm that it's on the card. If I say no, don't worry about that, Ian. Wrong answers don't count against you. You understand? Fine. Black out the boxes. We want you to light all 9 boxes in order to get the right to push your luck and win a car. We conducted a survey to name Disney feature films, Walt Disney Studio feature films, animated or otherwise. 27 answers, name 9. Good luck. Your 30 seconds, Ian, begin now.
Ben Knobs and Broomstick?
Yes.
Mary Poppins?
Yes.
Roger the Rabbit?
No.
Who killed Roger Rabbit?
I haven't got that.
OK. Sound of Music?
No.
Walt Disney?
No.
Mickey Mouse Christmas Carol?
Yes.
Pluto?
Not a feature film.
Back to the Future?
No, not a Disney.
It's gone.
Keep thinking.
Keep thinking.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ian. Oh, dear. Very good, Christopher. Tried hard. I know that we'll all have been... Everybody, all the celebrities up there were willing you to say Bambi and Dumbo. They were begging you to say Fantasia or Herbie Goes to Monte Carlo or Jungle Book or The Lady and the Tramp. And I don't mean to embarrass you. I'm just saying, I know how your mind seizes up. There was Pete's Dragon and Pinocchio and Snow White and the Seven...
No, I didn't get that.
And nevertheless, you've got £310. It is tax-free. Congratulations, Ian. Good to see you, and thanks for playing with us. And thank you to Leslie and Valerie and Hattie, to Anna and Cineretti and Debbie, and to Jeffrey and Tessa and Pat. Thank you for being with us. Be with us too next week and every week when we play the new Celebrity Squares.
Well, it's a bit like Play Your Cards Right with celebrities next on Challenge. Glory Ball's playing Famous Fives, and then afterwards it's classic Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with Chris Tarrant.